Yes, sir.
Yes, Eric, how concerned are you right now with the radiation problem?
So your question is about how concerned I am with the radiation and the food supply.
From Japan?
Yes, obviously. I'm sure you're referring to radiations. I am not concerned at all. And I was very confident that the Japanese government has been very transparent about delivering information to us. I obviously trust the FDA and the American government not to let anything dangerous and radioactive to our border and inside our country. However, 2 weeks ago, I ordered a machine, how do you call it?
Geiger counter?
Sorry?
Geiger counter?
Yes, basically you detect radiation. I received it last week because people had the same question as you. Clients, my staff, my family were saying, are you sure that what you get is safe? And I said, well, we're going to get the machine, and I'm very confident that I will make my point and prove that whatever we have, even coming from the sea, and even coming from Japan, is absolutely safe. We started to test the food a week ago, and since last week, whatever we have, and we basically checked the entire, all the ingredients that come to the Bernardin are checked, and it's absolutely zero radiation. The only radiation that I pinpointed with the machine was when my cell phone rings. It's a little bit of activity, which is absolutely harmless, because you have to put that in perspective. It's 3,000 times less radiation than a mammogram. So the food doesn't even have that radiation that the cell phone has. So I'm very confident, again, in what's going on. I think you shouldn't be scared about going and eating in restaurants, even ethnic restaurants like Japanese sushi places and so on. Whatever we test, and I have some friends who got the machine as well at the same time, we all agree that everything that we see, from vegetables to fruits to products in bottles and cans to fish to meat, everything is absolutely radiation free.
Thank you.
Yes?
Hi, how are you? I just want to know what a typical day like was for you. Just a regular day for you.
Sure. So I wake up very early because I have a son who wakes me up. Then I have breakfast. Then the family goes with my wife to take my son to school. I stay home and I meditate. And then she comes back home and we have breakfast together. Then I walk to work, which is a 45 minutes walk in Central Park. Not bad, considering that I'm in New York. And then I enter the doors of Le Bernardin around 10:30, and until 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, it's non-stop. 5 days a week. It's not bad. I have my weekends. And what we are doing tonight is a little bit exceptional. When I do the show, of course, I'm traveling, but it's condensed in 1 week or 2 weeks. Most of my time is spent in the kitchen, or at least in a restaurant. Yes? So you are cooking from your house and you're giving classes, and you would like to know what you should be doing?
Yeah, like give me what advice would you give?
Well, I think you,
Falling right.
well, I think you have to, when you teach, you have to communicate your passion. And if I was teaching at home, which sometimes I'm dreaming of, that's my retirement dream, I will definitely teach simple food. I will teach how to select good ingredients. The shopping part, I think, is very important. And then basic techniques that demystify sometimes the perception of complex recipes. A lot of people think sometimes cooking is difficult, And I think the idea of demystifying it and showing the right techniques and following guidance from you will definitely deliver a good result. I think that should be the guideline for your cooking, if I may. But I'm not a teacher. Yes, sir?
Who's made some of your favorite meals?
So that's a tough question. What are my favorite meals?
No,
If I
who's made some for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Besides your mother.
Yeah.
If I forget grandma, I am in a doghouse. No, it's very, favorite meals, it's very difficult to say one favorite meal. I had many in my life, my lucky life, many great meals. Sometimes it was not necessarily only about the food, it was about the company and about the fact that I was with friends and family. Sometimes it's because I was having actually amazing food. Sometimes it's an experience. So all favorite meal, I just cannot answer to that. I wish I could, but I have, let's put it this way, probably 1,000 of them. Yes?
What's your favorite junk food? Like little snack?
My favorite junk food.
What's your favorite junk?
Guilty pleasure. That's guilty.
I'm serious. I don't have really any craving for junk food. What I do sometimes at night, I slice some chorizo, which is basically a spicy sausage with paprika from Spain, and I make paninis with it. But it's not junk food, is it? And I don't think pizza is junk food either, but I eat a lot of pizza. Yes?
Does your wife cook as well? And is she American or French?
My wife is Puerto Rican and she is very good at making salads. You can repeat that to her. Yes, sir.
Any foods that you dislike, and any foods that you find more difficult to cook?
I'm sorry.
Any food that you personally dislike, and any food that you find difficult to cook?
Any food that I dislike as eating it or eating it?
What do you find difficult to cook? What's hard to cook?
The only food that I am not able to eat is brains. And when I was a kid in France, they thought that giving brain to the kids make them smarter. I don't know why, who invented that story. However, they were trying to, and I have some very vivid memories of being 4 years old and taking my spoon and the brain and throwing the... I'm still on. Except brains, I'm fine with everything. Yes?
Chef, it's an honor, first and foremost. But I was just, maybe to pinpoint some of your more favorite meals, but when you're in town, in Manhattan, what are some of your favorite places for seafood? I know for my girlfriend and I, Lorena Dan first and foremost, and then Michael White's Maria are two of our top favorites. So what's, like if you and your wife decide to go out for dinner, maybe for seafood in Manhattan, where would you go?
It's very rare that my wife and I go out for seafood, since I eat seafood lunch and breakfast every day of the week. But it happened. Of course, you mentioned Maria. Maria is a great restaurant with delicious food. I like Esca as well.
Okay.
And then I like sushi places.
Okay.
And depending on the budget of, I go to some very upscale sushi or.
Yatsuda?
Yatsuda is not even the most expensive. You have Masa. And so I like to go to Masa once every 2 years. Although I wish I would eat there every day. And Yatsuda and sushi of Gari and so on. But again, my first wish when I go out is not to go eat fish. It has nothing to do with my other friends cooking fish. Yes?
As a brand, how do you brainstorm dishes? Like, how do you conceptualize them, and how often do you let your staff put in their 2 cents on it?
So your question is about creativity at the Bernardin. So as you all know here, that creativity cannot be controlled. You don't push a button and say, I'm creative, and in 2 hours you push a button and say, I'm not creative anymore. Creativity comes from the experiences that we have in life, from our surroundings, from the season, from eating out, from interacting with people. And then, in my case, I absorb, and then he comes out much later on. And I take notes on pieces of paper, and then I put it on a pad. I try to be clean, but all written all over and so on. And then I bring my ideas to the Bernardin, and I have 2 gentlemen who work with me for 18 years, my executive chef and 5 other sous chefs who are with us for a long time, 8 years, 7 years, whatever. And the sous chefs and my chef and the executive chef and myself, and also we have a lady who's all day long researching new products and researching new techniques and so on. We meet, and I bring my ideas to the table, we discuss them, we go back to the kitchen, we cook, we try, we taste. Sometimes the sous chefs and my chefs and the lady also bring their ideas, and we do exactly the same. And it's a very long process. It's not like every day we have a genius idea, we wish. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of time to really make sure that the dish is perfectly the way we want. After we like the dish, we give it to some clients, friends of us, and then if we have good feedback, we put it on the menu. Yes?
I'm curious about your elder family.
Ripert, well, Ripert comes from Provence. So my family, I mean, Ripert is from my father's side, and so it's from Provence. I have no idea. I can tell you one thing, actually. Last year, I mean, now I think he's somewhere else, but the ambassador at the UN, the French ambassador at the UN, his last name was Ripert, like me. He comes from the same town as mine. And he refused to say he's my cousin. And I said, it's because I'm cooking soup and you're the ambassador.